Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Kennedy half-dollar coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, I've got a real treasure for you, the United States Kennedy half-dollar, but not just any Kennedy half-dollar. We're talking about the special Bicentennial edition minted between 1776 and 1976. This coin is much more than just pocket change. It's a symbol of American pride, a celebration of history, and for collectors like you and me, a potentially priceless gem. So listen very carefully, because this story is packed with fascinating details, rare varieties, and some eye-opening info on just how much this coin can be worth. Trust me, you don't want to miss a second. Now, the Kennedy half-dollar is iconic on its own, first introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. But the bicentennial version is a special beast. Minted in 1975 and 1976, it was created to celebrate 200 years since the Declaration of Independence, hence the date 1776 to 1976 stamped on the coin. This coin has a unique dual date to mark America's rich history, and it's this historical significance that already makes it special to collectors. Take a look at the design. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar profile of John F. Kennedy, strong and dignified. But flip it over, and instead of the usual presidential seal, you see a stunning design featuring Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. This building is surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. The artistry alone is enough to captivate any collector, but there's so much more beneath the surface. What makes the bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar truly exciting is the rarity and the rare errors found in some coins. While millions were minted, only a fraction exist in flawless condition, and even fewer carry minting errors that make collectors go wild. Some errors you might come across include doubled dies, where the design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Imagine seeing a doubled Independence Hall or doubling around the lettering. These errors are like hidden treasure, making those coins one of a kind and highly sought after. Another fascinating error that collectors hunt for is the missing edge letter or wrong metal composition. Most of these coins were made in a copper-nickel clad, but a very limited number were struck in 40% silver for collectors. These silver versions are prized far beyond the common clad coins because of their metal value and rarity, adding another layer of desirability. Now, for you collectors who are truly serious, there's the matter of grading. Coins graded as mint state or proof with top-tier scores by professional grading companies can skyrocket in value. When a coin is untouched, shiny, and free of scratches or wear, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add such a pristine piece to their collections. But let's get to the most exciting part, the value. You might think, surely a Kennedy half-dollar isn't worth that much, right? Well, this is where it gets jaw-dropping. Depending on condition, mint mark, and whether it's a rare error or silver proof, the value can vary dramatically. Some standard bicentennial halves might only fetch a few dollars, but those rare gems? Oh, they can bring in a stunning $89,000 in value. Yes, you heard that correctly, $89,000. A single Kennedy half-dollar from the Bicentennial series, especially one with rare minting errors or in flawless silver-proof condition, has been known to reach that astonishing price. That's a fortune for a coin that fits in your palm. So here's the takeaway for all you coin collectors and enthusiasts out there. If you stumble across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, examine it closely. Look for any unusual details, doubled designs, or clues that it might be a silver proof. And if it's in amazing condition, don't underestimate what you might have. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2, we have an incredible story for you about a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding a fortune in your pocket, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from 1983. Now, this coin might look familiar and fairly common at first glance, but if you pay close attention and listen carefully, you'll discover why some 1983 Kennedy half-dollars are among the rarest and most sought-after coins by collectors today. So buckle up and enjoy this deep dive into the mysterious world of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar and its stunning value. Let's start with some background. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It became an instant symbol of respect and remembrance, and the design has remained largely unchanged over the years. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar carries the familiar profile of JFK on the obverse side, looking sharp and dignified, with the classic presidential seal on the reverse. It's a coin that millions of Americans have seen, handled, and saved for decades, but there's a secret that only a lucky few collectors know about. Here's the twist: while millions of 1983 Kennedy half-dollars were minted and released, almost all of them were struck in copper-nickel clad, intended for everyday circulation. However, there is an extremely rare and highly prized variation of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar that was produced in pure silver as part of special collector sets. These silver coins were not meant for circulation and were minted in far fewer numbers, instantly making them more valuable. But the real treasure lies beyond just silver content. Some 1983 Kennedy half-dollars display rare minting errors that can send collectors into a frenzy. For instance, doubled die errors on the obverse or reverse side cause parts of the design to appear doubled or blurred, especially noticeable around Kennedy's profile or the lettering. Such errors occur when the coin's die strikes the planchet twice with slight misalignment, creating a stunning visual effect that makes these coins unique. Another highly coveted error is the off-center strike, where the design is partially missing or shifted dramatically to one side. These off-center coins are much rarer than you might imagine and can command a premium price because each one is essentially a one-of-a-kind piece. The more severe the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be, but the magic doesn't stop there. There are also missing mint mark errors and clipped planchet varieties from this year that catch the eyes of expert numismatists. Each error tells a story of the minting process and adds layers of intrigue and exclusivity to these already special coins. Now, for the serious collectors, coin condition is everything. A 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with these rare errors or silver-proof coins graded in mint state condition, meaning they are pristine and untouched, can exponentially increase in value. Professional grading services give these coins ratings that help buyers and sellers agree on their true worth, and a top-tier grade can mean the difference between a few dollars and thousands. And here comes the part that will blow your mind. Some of these rare 1983 Kennedy half-dollars with exceptional minting errors or pristine silver proofs have been known to sell for as much as $73,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $73,000 for a single coin that many think of as ordinary. Imagine holding a piece of American history that not only commemorates a beloved president but also holds the potential to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's the power of rare coins, and the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is a shining example of why coin collecting can be so thrilling. So if you find yourself digging through old coin collections or coming across a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, don't just toss it aside. Examine it carefully under good light, look for doubled designs, off-center strikes, or anything unusual. And if it's a silver coin, hold on to it tight because it could be far more valuable than you ever imagined. Top 3. We are diving deep into a piece of American history that might just be sitting quietly in your collection or maybe even in your pocket, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from the year 1998. This coin, often overlooked by many, holds secrets that can make it one of the rarest and most valuable coins for collectors today. So listen very carefully and enjoy this journey as we explore the rarity, unique errors, and the astonishing worth of this 1998 Kennedy half-dollar. First, a little background. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy. Since then, the coin has gone through several design and composition changes, but the iconic image of Kennedy's profile remains a constant symbol of American pride and remembrance. The 1998 issue is part of the copper-nickel clad series, generally seen as common and widely circulated. But appearances can be deceiving, especially when we talk about rarity and errors that make some specimens incredibly valuable. Now here's where things get interesting. Among the millions of 1998 Kennedy half-dollars minted, a very small number display striking minting errors. Collectors live for these anomalies because they are like accidental works of art, unique, rare, and immensely desirable. One of the most sought-after errors from this year includes the doubled die variety. This occurs when the coin's design is impressed twice onto the metal blank, but slightly offset, causing doubled images or lettering. On a 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, you might spot this doubling around Kennedy's profile, the date, or the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust. This tiny difference can skyrocket a coin's value because it makes that coin one of a kind. Another rare and exciting error to look for is the off-center strike, where the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing or shifted drastically. These off-center coins are significantly rarer than their perfectly struck counterparts, and the more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. Imagine holding a coin where Kennedy's face is partially cut off or the date is barely visible. That's the kind of rarity collectors dream about. There are also clipped planchet errors, where the metal blank is improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a distinctive curved or straight missing edge. These errors are not only visually striking but very rare, increasing their desirability for collectors around the world. But wait, there's more. Some 1998 Kennedy half-dollars were struck with a rare finish called proof-like or cameo that wasn't intended for mass circulation. These coins feature a mirror-like background with frosted design elements and are often found only in special collector sets or as errors in circulation. The proof-like finish, combined with a mint error or exceptional condition, can dramatically increase the coin's value. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin, and 1998 Kennedy half-dollars are no exception. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as mint state 65 or higher by professional grading companies, command premium prices in the market. The better the condition, the more collectors will be willing to pay. Now, let's talk numbers, the part you've been waiting for. While most 1998 Kennedy half-dollars may only be worth a few dollars, some rare specimens with errors or in exceptional condition have been known to sell for as much as $67,000. Yes, that is $67,000 for a single coin from 1998, a coin that many might consider ordinary. This incredible value shows just how exciting and rewarding coin collecting can be when you find those rare gems that tell a story and hold historical significance. So next time you come across a 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, don't just glance at it, inspect it carefully, look for double dies, off-center strikes, or any unusual finish, and if you spot something special, get it professionally graded because you might be holding a small fortune. Top 4, we're diving deep into the story of one of America's most iconic coins, the Kennedy half-dollar. But not just any year, we're zeroing in on the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that might be hiding in your collection or even sitting quietly in a forgotten drawer. Don't underestimate it, because this humble piece of metal could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a half-dollar, right? But stay with me, because what we're about to uncover is what makes coin collecting such a thrilling adventure. Let's rewind to 1992. This was a transitional time for the United States Mint. Technology was improving, minting techniques were evolving, and for the first time in decades, the Mint introduced silver-proof sets of coins once again, including the Kennedy half-dollar. These proof versions were struck with 90% silver content, specifically for collectors. They were never meant for circulation. Only those who ordered the special US Mint sets received them. So, what's the big deal? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Most 1992 Kennedy half-dollars were struck in copper-nickel for circulation, common, and not particularly valuable. But a select few silver proofs were made with such pristine detail, flawless finishes, and razor-sharp edges, that they became instant collector favorites. Even more rare are the coins with errors, the kind of happy minting accidents that turn a regular coin into a highly sought-after treasure. We're talking about things like Doubled Die Obverse, where parts of the design appear doubled because of a misaligned strike. Or coins with missing mint marks, a feature that should never be absent. Some versions show unusual toning, vibrant colors across the surface due to chemical reactions with the air over decades. And then there's the holy grail of minting errors, off-center strikes and planchet errors, where the coin wasn't cut or struck properly during production. These errors are rare. Extremely rare. And when found on a proof or high-grade 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, they elevate its value astronomically. Collectors know this coin isn't just a tribute to John F. Kennedy, it's a symbol of legacy, patriotism, and the incredible artistry behind American coinage. The shine, the precision, the unmistakable profile of JFK, it all comes together in a coin that feels powerful in your hands. Holding one feels like holding a piece of American history. So how much can this coin be worth? Let's build the picture. A circulated 1992 Kennedy half-dollar? Maybe 50 cents to a few dollars. A standard proof? Possibly $10 to $20. But now imagine you've got one that's uncirculated. Flawless. Or even better, one with a verified minting error. That's when things start to heat up, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. One extremely rare 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, with a combination of perfect condition and a mint error, was once appraised and valued at an astonishing $54,000. Yes, you heard that right. $54,000. For a single coin. So the next time you're sorting through your change jar, coin album, or inherited coin collection, pause for a moment. Take a closer look. That simple half-dollar might just be one of the rarest coins hiding in plain sight. Top 5 and last unique coin, we're diving into a remarkable piece of American numismatic history, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from the year 1988. Now, you might think the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is just another coin in your collection or pocket change, but hold on tight because this coin has secrets that could blow your mind. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just a curious enthusiast, listen very carefully and enjoy this deep, detailed journey into the rarity, errors, and stunning value of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. First, a little history to set the stage. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Since then, it has become one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. The 1988 issue is part of the copper-nickel clad series, widely circulated and often overlooked as just common currency. But as every collector knows, even the most common coins can hide extraordinary surprises. What makes the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar so special are the rare minting errors and unique characteristics that can turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable treasure. One of the most sought-after errors from this year is the doubled die variety. This error happens when the coin's design is struck twice with slight misalignment, resulting in a doubled or shadowed image on parts of the coin. On the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, doubling is often found around Kennedy's profile, the date, and the words, "Liberty," or, "In God We Trust." These doubled dies are like accidental pieces of art, creating a unique visual effect that collectors crave. Another fascinating error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Off-center coins are much rarer than regular ones, and their value increases with the degree of misalignment. Imagine a coin where Kennedy's face is partially cut off or the date is pushed to the edge. That kind of error can make your coin a one-of-a-kind collectible. There's also the clipped planchet error, where the metal blank is cut incorrectly, leaving a distinctive missing edge or curved clipping on the coin. These clipped coins are incredibly rare and visually striking, adding another layer of rarity and appeal. Some 1988 Kennedy half-dollars were also produced with a special proof-like finish, featuring a mirror-like background and frosted details. These proof-like coins were not intended for circulation and are often found only in special collector sets. When combined with minting errors or excellent condition, proof-like coins become highly desirable for serious collectors. Condition is a critical factor in determining a coin's value, and 1988 Kennedy half-dollars are no exception. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, especially those with mint state 65 or above, are considered premium collectibles. A flawless coin, free from scratches or wear, can command top dollar on the market, and now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value. While most 1988 Kennedy half-dollars might only be worth a few dollars, rare error coins or proof-like specimens in pristine condition have been known to sell for as much as $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a single coin that many might overlook. This astonishing value shows why coin collecting is such an exciting hobby. It's not just about history, it's about discovering those rare gems that can be worth a fortune. So, if you find a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, don't just dismiss it. Examine it closely for double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or proof-like finishes. If you see something unusual, consider getting it professionally graded. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. Thank you for joining me on this fascinating exploration of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their values, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future numismatic discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your coin finds be both rare and incredibly valuable.